Welcome everyone to the final game of the AAF Simulated Week 5. We've got the Arizona Hotshots 2-2 hosting the 1-3 San Antonio Commanders. This is going to be a big showdown between two of these teams that are really trying to get back on track this season, trying to make a playoff push here in Week 5. It should be a good one. We welcome you right now to Arizona. Looking over at this beautiful stadium, the Hotshots, the Commanders getting ready to take the field. This is going to be a big game for quite a few reasons, but one of the main ones is that these teams, 2-2 for Arizona, 1-3 for San Antonio. You're in a very, very good AAF West division, so you really need to get a win here going into the halfway point of the season if you want to have any sort of momentum to try to get a playoff spot, because you got San Diego and Salt Lake that are both 4-1. So, it's really going to come down to which one of these teams can end up making some big plays today and putting their team in a good position heading into the second half of the season. As Arizona crowd is going crazy, and they're coming off a big win. Arizona, they started the season 1-2. The two losses to Salt Lake. The first one obviously was a disaster, 38-6. The second one, they really were in a position to win that game, and they lost 15-9. They couldn't get it done. But then last week, they blew up Atlanta. 30-24 was the final score, but they were up 24-0. They dominated that game from almost start to finish. So they're looking to continue that momentum here this week against San Antonio, who's 1-3 and has really struggled this season. The Commanders have been just awful, really, especially offensively. They've done next to nothing, and they switched out Logan Woodside for Marquise Williams last week, and that was not a good decision, so we'll see what they can do today. Nick Folk sends it away. San Antonio will receive. DeMarcus Ayers takes it from about the goal line, and on the return takes it up to the 26, and that's where San Antonio will start with the football. So out comes Marquise Williams, and Logan Woodside had turned over the football 6 times back in week 3 against San Diego. So okay, we'll replace him, give Marquise a chance. Well, he only threw for 149 yards, didn't throw any touchdowns, threw an interception, and fumbled the ball away twice. Isn't that what you want from your backup quarterback who's coming in to replace someone who is turning over the football just as much? So Marquise Williams today is going to be going up against a really good Arizona defense, and we'll see what head coach Mike Rowley can make some play calls that gets his quarterback into it, because San Antonio last week against Birmingham, they lost 12-6, but they had some really nice drives, and they just lost them because of turnovers. Turnovers have killed them all season long. We'll see if they hurt them again today. 1st and 10 from the 26. Williams back to throw. He's going to go quickly to sidelines and nearly intercepted. That was Robert Nelson in coverage, and that was dangerous right off the bat. Let's look at this offense. On the offensive line, they need help. They have not been really all that great this season. Kenneth Farrell, though, he hasn't got enough attention, and he hasn't got enough production either. He's averaging 4.3 yards a carry, 224 yards on the season so far, and 4 touchdowns. He did have a fumble last week. That was a fumble 6, which gave Birmingham some momentum to win that game. But he was doing everything he could last week, and that loss is certainly not to blame on his fumble. 2nd and 10 now from the 26. A dangerous pass there on 1st down. On the ground, it's Farrell trying to find a lane. Picks up maybe 2 on the play, and that's going to bring up a long 3rd down. Let's look at this Arizona defense. They did a really good job last week shutting down Aaron Murray and that Atlanta offense. You had Scooby Wright stepping up making plays, player of the game last week. He had like 7 tackles. He had a fumble recovery. He had an interception. Came at a clutch time, too, that really kind of sealed the game for the Hotshots. This defense is really shaping up to be a good one. And the funny thing is that, after that, they gave up 38 points to Salt Lake in week 1. The defense has been phenomenal. Even in their other loss to Salt Lake, they held them to only 15 points. They intercepted Josh Wisner a couple times. I mean, they played a great game ever since week 1. They've been doing really good. Big 3rd and 8 for San Antonio. Quick pass down the field, and it's tipped up and incomplete. Raheem Moore almost came away with the interception, and man, those are 2 bad passes from Marquise Williams to start this thing off. And if he plays this game like this, we might just see Logan Woodside again next week. Right through the hands of Raheem Moore, man. That's 2 passes. That Robert Nelson and then Raheem Moore that should have came away with interceptions. It's a great defensive stop regardless. But Marquise Williams is lucky that neither of those passes were intercepted. Well, that was quick, and we were talking about San Antonio needs to make improvements on offense, and 3 and out to start this game is not necessarily an improvement, that's for sure. Joseph Zima now on to punt it away already. We're not even a minute into this 1st quarter. He'll kick it away. Back to receive is Rashad Ross, the speedy wide receiver. And he'll be smashed at the 28, so that's where they'll Set up shot with the football on the 28. Out comes John Wolford. And, you know, he's had an up-and-down season. He did not start the season really on a good note at all. But right now, through 4 weeks, he's thrown for 665 yards. He's completing 61% of his passes. He's thrown 5 interceptions, but he's thrown 5 touchdowns. And he showed a lot of improvement, last week. And we'll see what he can do today against San Antonio. And, you know, you got to remember, the Commanders' defense is not a bad defense at all. They did a really good job containing Orlando, and last week they shut down Birmingham until, you know, the very end. So we'll see. The big problem was San Diego, who just, the Fleet are just out of this world offensively. 1st and 10 now from the 28. Let's see what Rick Neuheisel wants to call on first down. It's a delayed give, and somehow Jarrell Presley turns into 4 yards. There was instant penetration from San Antonio. That should not have worked. So this offense, and Jarrell Presley, someone that we just talked about, definitely someone we want to mention here. He's got 250 yards in the season, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's been really effective, and he's been a big part of why Arizona's won their games. You know, he had that 69-yard touchdown run against Memphis in week 2 to win that game. Last week, he had 2 runs into the end zone. I mean, he was just all over the place last week. And he's going to be a big part of the game plan for Rick Neuheisel, the head coach of Arizona, who's doing a pretty solid job. First year as a head coach in the Alliance. 2nd and 6. Back to throw is Wolford. All day to throw the football. He's going to let it go, just throws it away. Smart to get rid of it before it went out of bounds, before it was sacked, excuse me. Let's take a look at the Commanders' defense. And you got Joey Embu, Matthew Godden, Winston Craig on the line. They've got so many weapons there. Shane Washington, Nick Temple at the linebacker position. And then in the secondary, you've got Deron Smith, Devontae Bosby, Zach Sanchez. These guys locked Birmingham down last week. And just was the fact that their offense could only score 2 field goals, they eventually broke down. And even then, they still only gave up 6 points of offense. Six of the 12 points from the Iron came from that fumble 6. So, I mean, they did everything they could. And let's see if the defense can make a big stop here and get the Commanders to football back. 3rd and 6 from the 32. Wolford back to throw. Blitz. He's going to let it go to the sidelines, and is that hauled in? It is! Complete to Rashad Ross for the first down at the 47. What a throw from Wolford, and is an excellent catch on the sidelines by Ross. Look at that. Yeah, he gets both feet down with control. That's just beautifully done. And, you know, this is something that, you know, early on in the season, we really didn't see much of from Arizona. But the last couple of weeks, they've been really picking it up offensively, especially last week against Atlanta. We've seen big plays. We've seen, you know, just explosiveness from this offense. And, you know, we know that they have a lot of weapons. And here in week 5, a chance to get over 500 for the first time this season. Can they pull it off? Off-play action. Wolford with all day to throw the football. He's got to let it go. He will. And that is caught by Ross. Somehow squeezed it by Devontae Bosby, and they're all the way to San Antonio's 34. Wow. Look at this. So, Wolford has literally all day to throw, and then still, that's great coverage from Bosby. I mean, he can't be on top of Ross much better than that. Just look at this pass from Wolford, just right through. Perfect placement, and again, the last 2 throws are on the money, and it's something that Wolford's really, he's just been growing so much since the first week, and it's great to see, especially if you're an Arizona Hotshot fan. 1st and 10 from the 34. Delayed give to Presley again, gets it to the 31 before being swung down by Curtis Drummond. This Commander defense has been through a lot this season. You know, week 1 was a disaster against San Diego. Week 2, they somehow got that win over Orlando. They really didn't deserve it, but they got the PI call. They won that game. Their only win of the season. Then they got spanked again by San Diego. Then, you know, had a heartbreaking loss to Birmingham. This season could be a lot different, but they're 1-3. In motion is Ross, and they give it to Presley, who's ripped down immediately. Excellent penetration by Shane Washington in there on the stop, and that's going to force a 3rd and 8. Big time tackle. And that's exactly what San Antonio is going to have to do on defense. You know, they've got playmakers. Shane Washington's one of them. He just stepped up and blew right past there. I mean, he was unblocked. Those are the types of plays that San Antonio is going to have to make if they want to stay in this game, because I really, honestly, at this point, I don't think that their offense is going to be able to win them this game. It's going to come down to whether or not the defense can get enough stops. And, you know, they did their job last week. The offense couldn't deliver. 3rd and 8. Huge 3rd down. Back to throw is Wolford. Steps up in the pocket, still analyzing, going to go deep down the sidelines, and it's going to be out of bounds, looking for Richard Mullaney. And they're probably going to settle for a field goal here. going to be a 50-yard attempt. And I give credit for Wolford putting this throw in there, and Mulaney just not able to stay in bounds. Not really much you can do there. It's a good attempt, but Deron Smith an excellent job of getting there, making sure that Mulaney was unable to get those feet down. Forced the incompletion. It's going to be 4th down. And if you're Arizona, you got to hope that Nick Folk can knock this field goal through, because if not, San Antonio is going to get phenomenal field position. We've seen kickers throughout this league really struggle from 50 yards and beyond, so we'll see. The kick is on its way, and it's going to be short. No good. Nick Folk misses from 50, and San Antonio takes over at the 40 after all that. So a great drive from Arizona. A great defensive stop to start the game, and they come away with no points. That is horrible. Absolutely horrible for the Hotshots. And now out comes Marquise Williams, who should have thrown 2 interceptions on the first drive. Let's see what we can do on this second try. But Nick Folk, on the season, he hasn't been that bad. Trying to find his stats. 2 for 2, and then on the season, he's only kicked 2 field goals on the season, 2 for 2, but that one gets away from him, so now he's 2 for 3. See what Mike Riley can do with his offense to try to get something going. They've got weapons. Can they make it happen? 1st and 10 from the 40. Excellent starting field position. Kenneth Farrow with a lane. He'll take it up to the 46, and I think, that's going to be a big part of whether or not San Antonio can get some points. Getting Kenneth Farrow going. He played a good game last week. He had almost 100 yards on the ground, but Marquise Williams made some errors, and they just couldn't find a way to get touchdowns and come away with big-time scores. We'll see today if they can at least run with Kenneth Farrow again, and then if Marquise Williams can actually finish off these drives. That's going to be the big question mark for San Antonio today. 2nd and 4 from the 46. And on the ground again, Farrow breaking to the outside into Arizona territory at the 47. Farrow's just one of those guys that you just can't help but root for and love. He's just such a fighter, just a hard downhill runner, but he can also just explode through holes and make jukes and cuts. You just look at this, just a bounce to the outside before Steven Johnson can get there, and a couple nice runs there. And let's see if Mike Riley decides to go to the air here. I'll be honest, I think that San Antonio's strength is their running game, and it's something that they're going to have to stick with if they want to start winning some games. Back to throw is Marquise Williams. Going deep. And it's knocked away and almost picked off. It should have been a 3rd interception. That was Robert Nelson again, who was in the area and couldn't come away with it. Marquise Williams is 0 for 3. Granted, that pass wasn't too bad. It just was tipped up. He's 0 for 3, but he could be 0 for 3 with 3 picks pretty easily if these Arizona defenders can make some catches. And that's something that might come back to haunt Arizona. Turnovers. They've not been good in that margin this season, and they got to start coming up with some ways to do it like they did last week. Kenneth Farrow with a spin move, but cannot get away from the second man. Taken down by Kellen Burnett at the 46. To bring up big 3rd and 9 for San Antonio. And that time, Arizona was on top of it. An excellent job defensively. And let's see what Marquise Williams can come up with here on 3rd and 9. 0 for 3 to start this game. Big play. What is it going to be from Riley? Williams to throw. Quick pass. And it's knocked away again. Look in the direction of Greg Ward. Mikel McKay. And San Antonio's offense once again failing to get the job done. And Williams just tries to fit in this window and just too low for Mikel McKay. It's a nice play defensively made by Sterling Moore. And San Antonio once again is going to have to punt it away. Mike Riley doesn't look too happy on the sidelines. I don't blame him. Zima for his 2nd punt of the day. He will kick it, and this one's a high punt. Not a very good punt. Ross takes it and met immediately at the 17. So that will take us to the next Arizona drive. Excuse me. I don't know why I was about to say that it was going to take us to the 2nd quarter. There's 3:36 to play. This quarter's felt kind of long. I think it's just because, we've had 3 3-and-outs, basically. Well, not 3-and-outs, but we've had 3 drives, no scores. So let's see if Arizona's offense can build off of this solid drive. I mean, they got all the way down to the 33 and just the missed field goal. Wolford made some nice throws, but Arizona's going to have to come away with points if they want to win this game, obviously. Backed up now at their own 17. Let's see what they can come up with. To throw is Wolford on first down. Quick pass, and it's caught. Actually, no, it's dropped. Devontae Bosby gets in there and knocks it away. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Yeah, I think Wolford just floated that ball a little bit too long. That sort of throw, you want to kind of zip it in there quicker because it allowed Bosby to close the gap really quickly. We're seeing a lot of defense so far to start this game. Not a whole lot of offense. 2nd and 10. All receivers spread wide for Wolford. Back to throw. With time, he's going to take a deep shot down the field. He's got a man wide open, and it is hauled in. Freddie Martino down the sidelines all the way to the 21. Wow. You know, Arizona explosive plays is something that they really have lacked throughout this season, but how about that throw? 62 yards to Freddie Martino. And he just beats the coverage. Excellent defense gets by Curtis Drummond. And Martino able to finish it off. How about that play for the Hotshots? And now they're in really good striking range. Big play. Freddie Martino. He had a big week 1. Been relatively silent since then, but that's a big completion for their 3rd string wide receiver. 1st and 10 now from the 21. Wolford to throw, and he's got a man that's complete to the outside. That's Richard Mullaney. Down to the 13 in Arizona's offense. Making things happen. This home crowd is loving it. Brings up 2nd and 2. Let's see if Arizona can close out this drive with a touchdown, because you think after the missed field goal, obviously he should be able to hit it from here, but you've had 2 drives now that have gone deep into San Antonio territory. You want to come away with a touchdown here. Start putting some bigger points on the board, because Arizona has dominated this game. Nice play out. Quick out to Richard Mullaney. I like the play call. Neuheisel really starting to, you know, get comfortable with these play calls to Wolford, and that's exactly what we were thinking. You know, we knew how good Arizona can be, and they're really starting to show it this last couple weeks. Off-play action, and that's not the best play call there. Wolford gets blown up. Nick Temple in there to make the tackle. That's going to bring up a big 3rd and 6. And I feel like he should have given it to Presley here, because Presley would have had an easy 1st down. Meanwhile, he decides to hold it himself, and Nick Temple just came around completely unblocked. Not a chance for Wolford. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 6. And, you know, this is the type of stuff that San Antonio has been doing this. Their defense has stepped up and made plays and created turnovers and made stops. It's just that their offense is so lackluster, no matter who's the signal caller. And you think, I mean, it's obviously too late for a trade at this point in the season, but Mike Riley's got to find some way to get Woodside or Marquise Williams going. 3rd and 6. Back to throw is Wolford. San Antonio brings a blitz. Going to the end zone. Knocked up and incomplete. Dangerous. Look in the direction of Gerald Christian. And looks like Arizona will have to settle for a field goal after all. And it's a nice throw. Just a little bit high, and Christian just unable to come down with it through the contact. Deron Smith in there along with Drummond. It's a nice play. Duke Thomas almost got there for a pick. So Nick Folk, he missed from 50, but this is only a 34-yarder. Should be an easy one. See if he can knock it through and get Arizona the first points of the game. Nearly blocked, but it's up and it's good, and Arizona takes a 3-0 lead here with 1:26 to play in the first quarter. And after, you know, I'd say it's a good kick, first of all, from Folk. Knocks it right through. It's good to get on the board, but it's a little bit disappointing after those 2 really solid drives. So only have 3 points to show for it. It leaves the door wide open for the Commanders to march down and make something happen. Rick Neuheisel, he's been doing a good job here in Arizona. They have weathered the storm. Excuse me. They have weathered the storm. You know, they had a horrible loss in week 1 to Salt Lake. Then week 2, Memphis really took momentum pretty quickly in that game, but they found a way to come back, get it done, win 23-20. Then they had a heartbreaking loss to Salt Lake. But then, you know, week 4, they dominated Atlanta, and right now they are dominating San Antonio here at home. Nick Folk sends it away. DeMarcus Ayers takes it from the end zone. He will take it out. Looking for some blockers and gets up to the 24. So that's where San Antonio will take over with a football. And you got to think, the Commanders They could not be in a better position right now. After how bad that they've played this game, it's only a 3-0 game. You march down and score a touchdown, you got the lead. So let's see what Marquise Williams can do. He's 0 for 4 with 4 passes that all could have been intercepted. I mean, it's just been a disaster for him. And we'll see what he can do to come up with something here. And you wonder how much of this is the coach's fault. I mean, Mike Riley, things couldn't get going with Logan Woodside. Things have not been able to get going so far with Marquise Williams. Kind of reminds me of the quarterback situation in Philadelphia with Doug Peterson and the Eagles. 1st and 10 now from the 24. Williams to throw. With time going deep down the field, and it is knocked away again. McKay unable to hang on, and these Arizona defenders are doing an excellent job of getting in there and making plays and just making it difficult for Marquise Williams to get anything going. And Arizona's defense, you know, their best game really came against Salt Lake in week 3. They only gave up 15 points, but last week, you know, they took a 24-0 lead, and Atlanta just couldn't come back. 2nd and 10, they go on the ground. It's Farrow looking for some room and can't get a blocker. Taking down after a gain of only 2. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 from the 26. Raheem Moore flies in there for the tackle. You know, the problem here is that Kenneth Farrow is the only guy that can really do anything for San Antonio's offense, and then it just makes it so predictable. These defenses know Kenneth Farrow is the only guy that is doing anything because Williams isn't making any throws, Woodside wasn't making throws, but let's see what we can do. Big blitz, throw down, and it's knocked away, and again should have been picked off. Wow. That is insane. Phenomenal play there by, forgetting who number 31 is. Might be Dexter McDougal. Heck of a play by Arizona. They're going to force another punt. But it's crazy. 6 passes that have been knocked away that should have been intercepted. Marquise Williams could have 6 interceptions today. That's wild. Zima on to punt it away again. Back to receive, Rashawn Ross from inside his 25. Trying to make a move, and the blocking is not there whatsoever. Takes it to 31. That's where Arizona will set up shop. So decent field position, but I feel like Ross certainly could have gotten a lot more on that return. And out comes John Wolford in this offense, and let's see what they can do. I mean, they only have 3 points on the board, but they've put together 2 really solid drives. The Hotshots have got to find a way to, you know, just start finishing these drives with touchdowns, because that's what they did last week against Atlanta, and that's why that was their best game of the year. Took a 24-0 lead, and that was that. Atlanta just wasn't able to dig out of it. So let's see what they can do here on their 3rd drive of the game. Wolford gives it to Tim Cook, and he's going to be stacked up at the 32. Picks up about 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. So far, San Antonio's defense has done a really good job with the run. Terrell Presley's had a couple carries for not much at all. Tim Cook's been stuffed. John Wolford hasn't gone anywhere. We'll see if they get this playoff here before the end of the 1st quarter. I don't know. And they will not. So that'll take us to quarter number 2. It's a 3-0 lead for the hometown Arizona Hotshots in a big West Divisional matchup between 2 teams that are really looking to gain an edge, or at least try to, you know, get something going. Because you got Arizona who's 2-2. They win this game, they're 3-2, and they're just 1 game out of the playoffs, which is also kind of crazy that, you know, at 3-2 you're not even at the 2nd seed, because you've got Salt Lake and San Diego that are so good at 4-1. But if San Antonio wins, then both these teams are 2-3. San Antonio will lap them there and have a chance to make a run in the second half of the season. So we'll see which one of these teams can make the bigger plays today. 2nd and 8 from the 32. Wolford to throw. Big blitz. Has to dump it off to Presley, who's got some room and some blockers, but San Antonio closes quickly. It's only going to pick up about 3. Brings up 3rd and 6 at the 35. And now a big play for the Hotshots. I mean, their defense has done, again, an exceptional job shutting down San Antonio. Can this offense find a way to pick up a 1st down here and keep the chains moving and score some more points? Big 3rd and 6 right now. All receivers spread wide for Wolford. Back to throw. Blitz from San Antonio. Quick pass, and Ross, I think he's going to be short, and because he had the ball in the wrong hand. Ross is taken down there across the middle, and look at this. He should have had an easy 1st down, and he just doesn't cut up field. I don't know what Ross is really kind of doing here. Puts it in the wrong hand and unable to get the first, and I think they're probably gonna punt. That is really disappointing for the Hotshots, who should have had the conversion there. So Jeff Locke now on the punted away for the first time today. That's a really bad drive, and now back to receive is Greg Ward, but can Arizona get a bounce? No, they're not. Goes out of bounds, so San Antonio going to start at the 20. And that's just a poor decision there. Rashad Ross, he's been one of their big playmakers this season, but that's just, I don't know, like, that was an easy first down that somehow he managed not to get. And now it gives San Antonio another opportunity after this defense hasn't even given up one completion through the air. And has only given up one first down this entire game so far. Mike Riley, I mean, this is a game where he really needs to prove himself as a head coach. His defense is holding up. They've only given up 3 points despite Arizona's momentum. It's about time that Mike Riley gets his offense going. 1st and 10 from the 20. Off play action. Williams in trouble and it's batted down. Scooby Wright. I mean, that's just ridiculous. 0 for 7. Marquise Williams, I mean, I just simply am mind blown at the fact that they haven't been able to get one completion yet. And that was another batted pass that could have had a chance to be picked as well. I mean, bat at the line is hard to get those, but you've had 7 passes that have all been in dangerous territory. On the ground is Farrow. Makes a move and cuts it upfield, and Kenneth Farrow. Big run to the 38. That's a pickup of 18, and there's a big play that maybe can finally get this offense going. And 6 carries for 36 yards. Half of them came for Farrow on that carry, and this is why they love Kenneth Farrow in San Antonio, because he's just someone that is just able to get the offense rolling. It's a big-time run. And he's got San Antonio's only 2 first downs of this game so far. First and 10 coming up from the 38. Let's see if San Antonio can keep moving the football down the field. And I'd probably just stick with it on the ground, to be honest. See what the play call is from Riley. And they will pass. Williams. He's going to take off with it. He's got some room to run. Marquise Williams gets a first down on the ground up to the 50. So, hey, the running game is working for San Antonio. We've got 30 yards on this drive. And, you know, I guess at this point, like, Mike Riley's just like, why not call a play like that? Nothing else is working through the air. Might as well let Williams just take off with it, because we know how athletic Williams is and how he can use his legs. And as long as he holds on to the football, which is something he did not do last week, San Antonio can be in good shape if they can make some of those plays work. 1st and 10 from the 50. Williams to throw. He's going to take off with it again with some room, but taken down maybe after a gain of about 1 on the play. That time, Arizona was ready for it. And Williams, we have noticed, I mean, he is quick to just try to take off with it. Doesn't really wait around that long in the pocket, which is good, but also bad, because it caused some issues last week when he fumbled the ball twice. 2nd and 9 from the 49. Once again, sticking on the ground. Farrow goes nowhere. Arizona's defense locking that one down. You know, it really is impressive what this Hotshots defense has been able to do the past few weeks. You know, with that horrible start, with some mishaps offensively, they have really contained these offenses. 3rd and 9. Huge third down again for the Commanders. They're going to go through the air on this one. Williams to throw. Going deep down the field. He's got a man wide open, and that should have been intercepted again. The dropped pick from Sterling Moore. He's 0 for 8 with 8 passes that could have been picked. I've never seen anything quite like this. And this is a horrible throw. If he drops that in the bucket, Kenneth Farrow beats his man and just way overthrows him, and Sterling Moore needs to find a way to pull that in. That is about 6 or 7 dropped interceptions that we've had now from Arizona's defense. Nuts. Quite obviously, this should be a punt, and it is. Zima to punt away for the 4th time today. We're not even halfway through the 2nd quarter. This one goes out of bounds at the 18, so not the worst punt. Only goes about 32 yards, 31, 32. But Could have been worse. So out comes Arizona's offense, who only has 3 points, despite a few solid drives, and they've got to find a way to get in the end zone. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I mean, that's just how you win football, for obvious reasons. But you look at the way Arizona has played in the past, they win when they're able to get in the end zone. Against Memphis, they were able to put the ball in the end zone. They won that game 23-20. Last week, they were able to put the ball in the end zone. They beat Atlanta 30-24. You go to the games against Salt Lake, they only scored 6 and then only scored 9. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jarrell Presley. He'll take it up to the 23. 2nd and 6 coming up, and San Antonio, their defense has not played bad this game. I mean, they've given up a lot of yards, they've given up a lot of big plays, but they've only given up 3 points, and that in and of itself is a success. And let's see what Arizona can do right now. Back to throw is Wolford. Guns it across the middle. It's man wide open. It's Richard Mullaney to the 42, and that gets his crowd hyped up, and as it should. The big completion. The gain of about 19 on the play. Look at this. I mean, Mullaney just gets. He was open on the hook, and then he was open with that little cut, that little in. Basically got open twice on that play. And look at that, 112 passing yards for Arizona, 0 passing yards for San Antonio. Wild. 1st and 10 from the 42. On the ground is Presley with a big hole. Up to the midfield of the 50, and finally a relatively decent run for Presley. 2nd and 2 coming up, and Arizona's in a great position right now. Time is on their side. They can run down a lot of the clock, score a touchdown, and get the ball for half. So we'll see if they can manage to do that, or if this offense will kind of stall out again. It's been a good drive so far. 2nd and 2 now from the 50. Off play action. Wolford will throw. With plenty of time. Going deep. Man wide open. Gerald Christian all the way down to the 22. That's another big play for Wolford through the air. He's got 160 yards just in this half. And this is a guy that hasn't been known to throw for many yards. But he's got 160 already, and what a pass, and really what a great job by Gerald Christian, just wide open. Shane Washington, I think that's his man. He's got to pick it up, and just miscommunication there defensively. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 22. First and 10. Can they find a way to score a touchdown? On the ground, Presley finding a hole, breaking through. Presley down to the 5, and that's a gain of 17 in Arizona's offense. They are rolling. This has been just a few explosive plays, bang, 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 that have marched them all the way down to the 5. Presley breaks through that hole very quickly. First and goal. Can they find a way to punch it into the end zone here? They got a few plays to do it. On the ground, Tim Cook. No, he's not going to get there. Not even close. He goes backwards. Deron Smith gets in there for the stop. I think that play right there was a little bit predictable for San Antonio. You know, Arizona's gone to this play a lot in the red zone. Got to shake it up a little bit. Go through the air. That's how they were successful last week. Granted, Jarrell Presley had 2 touchdown runs, but from 1st and goal from the 5, I would have liked to see them pass it. 2nd and goal coming up from the 7. I don't think we're going to see this play. No. That takes us a 2-minute warning. 3-0. Arizona has dominated this game, but have only put up 3 points. They've got to find a way to score a touchdown here if they want to start pulling ahead. Meanwhile, the Commanders in a position defensively to make another stop, despite really being thrown and ran all over. They've just been really solid inside about the 20-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 7. See what the pickle is from Neuheisel. Low snap. On the ground. Presley trying to get there. He'll be taken down to 4. So he's going to leave Arizona with a 3rd and goal decision from the 4. It's a big play coming up for the Commanders. You know, if they can keep this a 6-0 game, it can be a whole different second half. 3rd and goal. Wolford back to throw. Lets it go, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Freddie Martino goes up and gets it, and I don't think that Martino was the one that was going to. Look at this. I'm pretty sure he's going to Ross in the back of the end zone, but Martino jumps up and steals it. And hey, it's just a good thing he hang on to that, because if he dropped it, he would have gotten a word from the coach on the sidelines, that's for sure. But hey, what a day for Freddie Martino. The 62-yard big completion set up the field goal, and now a touchdown, and Arizona extends to it, takes a 9-0 lead. Hotshots are really starting to find their rhythm here, and let's see if they can get this 2-point conversion, make it an 11-point game. They go to Presley's, not going to get even close. Terrible blocking, and Deron Smith in there to make another nice play, and it's going to stay 9-0. You know, last week we saw Arizona convert on 3 of their 4 2-point conversions. Their best ratio of the season, but they start 0 for 1 today. But how about that drive? And Mike Riley's got to find some way to make something happen offensively. I mean, there's just no other. I know I keep saying it, but there's just no other. There's no way around that. Arizona now up 9-0, and they completely dominate this game. It should be, 20-0 at this point, to be honest. Rick Neuheisel is doing a great job. Arizona is finding their groove, finding their rhythm. They are looking ready to get above that 500 mark finally, get to 3-2, and go into the second half of the season with a lot of momentum. And they lost to Salt Lake twice, but they're still catchable, and they haven't played San Diego yet, so opportunity there when they play them in Week 7 and then Week 10. I mean, this whole thing is just going to come down to the wire. On the return, it's Ayers. Looking for some blockers. Trying to take it upfield, and he'll take it up to the 30-yard line. So not a bad return, and gives San Antonio a chance to get some points on the board before the half. From the 30, you got 3 timeouts and a minute 29 left. But with the way Marquise Williams has looked, and you got Kenneth Farrow's good playing that game, 7 carries, 36 yards. But Marquise Williams is 0 for 8, and all 8 of his passes have been potential interceptions. So this is gonna be interesting to see what they can come up with, on this drive. And I don't know, can Marquise Williams get his first completion of the game before half? We'll see. He's looked horrible today, and there's just a massive QB dilemma here in San Antonio because both these quarterbacks have been putrid. 1st and 10 from the 30. Williams to throw. Going, and it's way overthrown, looking for Greg Ward. Williams is 0 for 9. My goodness. This has just been a disaster of a game for him. 2nd and 10 now, coming up from the 30. And yeah, I don't really know what else that they can really do. We'll see. Back to throw is Williams again. With all sorts of time. Just got to get rid of it. And he's not. Taken down at the 22. How about the big time sack there by Marcus Hardison? Able to get in there for the big time sack, and Arizona forces an 3rd and 18, and they take a timeout. I mean, I guess why not? With the way their offenses look, there is a chance for them to make something happen. 3rd and 18. Will San Antonio just play it safer? This is not the Commanders team that we were expecting to see coming into this season. They've got so many weapons, yet just offensively so lackluster. They will go on the ground. Kenneth Farrow gets to the 29, and it's going to be the 5th punt of the game for Joseph Zima. Pretty incredible stuff. Arizona's defense is locking up, locking down. They're doing whatever they have to do. They're going to have a minute 14 and a timeout to work with, so possibilities for them to do something. Just the lack of energy from San Antonio is amazing to me because they have one of the biggest fan bases in this league. They have some of the best players in this league. They just can't find a way to make it happen. Ross is going to get blown up here. Oh, it was a fair catch. So the 27, a minute 8 to go. I really don't think that Arizona is going to come away with anything here because Madden doesn't know how to manage time. But hey, those are great first half stats from Wolford. 9 of 13, 164 yards and a touchdown. And let's see what he can try to do here in these final minutes. We'll see what Rick Neuheisel has planned. From the 27, you want to get a field goal, you got to go about 50 yards here. 45, 50 yards at least, to be honest. 1st and 10. Back to throw is Wolford. With time. Guns it. He's got a man. It's complete. Mulaney all the way to midfield to the 50. Big time play for the Hotshots. They got to keep it moving, though. Time is of the essence. Richard Mulaney is having himself a really nice day. It's a great catch across the middle. Arizona holding on to that timeout. We're about 40 seconds now in this game. They go on the ground to Presley. Why? What? Why? It's gonna bring up 2nd and 10 now, and they're still hanging on to that timeout. And now they're gonna use it because they're gonna get 21 seconds. Ugh. Man, I hate Madden. What a stupid play call and stupid simulation. Don't know what Rick Neuheisel is doing. I don't think he'd do that in real life. And also, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm rooting for anybody here, guys. I'm just like, come on. Like, this has been so many games where teams have been robbed of points because of how ridiculous Madden is. 2nd and 10 now from the 50. They need a deep pass that gets out of bounds now. They were saving their timeout, too. Quick pass, it's caught. And I think that'll probably take us to halftime. Freddie Martino on the grab. Hey, look at those stats. Wolford, he's got almost 200 yards in this half alone. So that will, or what, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that'll do it for this half. Bad play clock management from Arizona, but they have dominated that first half with a 9-0 lead here at home. They're looking to get their 2nd win in a row and start putting together some games to get themselves into the playoffs. Looking to improve to 3-2. San Antonio desperately needs to change things around here in the 2nd half. We'll see. Here at halftime, I just want to let you all know that we do have merch. And if you feel like supporting this channel and what we do, we'd really appreciate it. If you want to cop some merch from the AAF Simulated, or just send us a few bucks on PayPal if you feel like it, we greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, just keep watching this channel because we love all the support that we get, all the comments, the Twitter, all that stuff over there. We love you guys and appreciate all the support. Welcome back to Arizona. Hotshots, 9-0 lead. They're going to get it here, and they're looking like they're in good position right now. Trying to make it 2 wins in a row. But they only have a 9-point lead, and with how good their offense has looked, Wolford's thrown for almost 200 yards. Terrell Presley's having a decent day on the ground. You know, there's bad clock management there at the end of that one. And we'll see what Arizona can do here to try to make it maybe a 3-score game. They have to get a touchdown in the 2. Excuse me. Ugh. It has been a long day today. Alright. Nick Rose sends it away. Back to receive is Justin Stockton. His first kickoff return of the day. Looking to make a move, and it takes it up to 26. So, that's where the Hotshots will set up shop to start this drive. And out comes John Wolford. And, you know, he's been playing his best game of the season. And last week, he was phenomenal. But this week, he seems to be even better. I mean, he's putting phenomenal throws in there. Great pass to Freddie Martino on the deep shot. Then the pass of Martino in the end zone, which kind of was meant for... Well, actually, that's the pass to Charles Christian there. Here's the one to Martino. Martino goes up and gets it. He's been playing a heck of a game today, and he's really showing that he is Arizona's signal caller, and he is their leader. And, you know, in week 3, we were really starting to wonder, you know, is Wolford their guy? And the last 2 weeks, he's really showing that he is their guy, and he plans on leading the Hotshots to the playoffs. First and 10 from the 26. Back to throw is Wolford. With plenty of time, has to check it out, and that's a dangerous pass. Deron Smith has been all over the place. That's probably not the play that they were looking to start with here. Start the second half. That's wild, though. San Antonio still with... They didn't have one completion through the air. Yet it's only a 9-0 game. Like, all San Antonio needs is like a turnover here and a quick score. And they're right back in this game, which is wild because Arizona should be winning by a good 3 to 4 scores right now. Off play action, Wolford in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Big sack from Arthur Miley back at the 22. And San Antonio's defense with a couple big plays to start out this half. And they made some nice plays the last half. I mean, Arizona kind of threw and ran all over them whenever they wanted to, but San Antonio only gave up 9 points, which is really reasonable considering how bad their offense did. How about the sack by Miley getting right through there and ripping down Wolford before he could spin away. 3rd and 14 coming up for the Commanders. For the Hotshots. See what the play call is from Neuheisel. Maybe they'll just play it safe. No, they will throw with Wolford, who's got time. He's gonna let it go. It's caught, and he's just gonna be taken down before the first down mark. It's me 4th and 1. He almost got that in there for the first down. Gerald Christian with the second big catch of the game, and I think Arizona's got the punt, and that's disappointing because, you know, if he didn't get sacked, that would have been a first down right there. So it's a nice catch from Christian, just unable to stay on his feet. I mean, I don't blame him. He's getting hit from 2 angles. That's a big stop for San Antonio. And a big break there that Christian wasn't past the sticks. So Jeff Locke, the former Minnesota Viking, will punt it away for the second time today. Back to receive is Greg Ward. And he is met immediately at the 13. So San Antonio has a lot of work to do. But hey, you know, this is where comebacks can start. And I think San Antonio can get it done. You know, give the ball to Kenneth Farrow. First half, 8 carries, 43 yards, averaging 5.3 yards a carry. They have got to stick with him on the ground because Marquise Williams is 0 for 10 through the air. I mean, he's been playing horrendous. And you wonder, maybe they should have stuck with Logan Woodside and given him another chance. You know, these sorts of things, there's so many what-ifs. And Woodside was bad. Marquise Williams has been just as bad. Minus a couple turnovers, but I mean, he's been horrible. 1st and 10 from the 13. What can Mike Riley do to turn this team around here in the second half? They go on the ground. It's Farrow with a big hole for Kenneth Farrow. That's a good play to start out this drive. It's a gain of 9. Farrow up over 50 yards on the day. Brings up 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1 from the 22. And Arizona's defense, I mean, they have played one hell of a game. They have been absolutely outstanding. But the door is left open here for San Antonio to try to make a comeback just because the Commanders have been able to hold Hotshots to only 9 points. And they give it on the end around to Greg Ward, who is taken down to 23, and it's going to bring up 3rd and inches. So just short. And the funny thing is that San Antonio is keeping it on the ground right now for good reason. I mean, I don't see why they would throw the football, which is how bad Marquise Williams has been. Huge 3rd and inches right now for the Commanders. They need to get a first down and just put together a drive. On the ground, Farrow, he's got it. First down to the 26. Wasn't maybe his flashiest run of the game, but that was a big one. Gets him a first down. And, you know, again, Arizona's not playing bad defense. They've been playing phenomenal defense, but with only a 9-0 lead, again, it leaves open an opportunity and a door for San Antonio's offense if they can find a way to get it going. And it's crazy that they have about 70 yards of total offense, and all of that is through the ground game. Once again, it's Kenneth Farrow, kind of gets tripped up and taken down to 26, so doesn't really pick up anything on that play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Scooby Wright in there on the tackle. He had a heck of a game last week. Had that interception on Murray that really kind of closed out the game for the Hotshots to win that one, because Atlanta, I think they would have had a chance at making a full comeback there had Scooby Wright not intercepted that pass there in the late 4th quarter. 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Kenneth Farrow trying to find a lane, but excellent defense. San Antonio just not able to find the lane. Dexter McDougal in there for the big-time tackle. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Commanders, and another long 3rd down where now, you know, you've ran it 5 times in a row. You've got to pass it. Can this be Marquise Williams' first completion of the day here on 3rd and 9? Back to throw. With time, he's going to take off with it, and he's not going to get to the sticks. Stop short at the 34. Scooby Wright in there to make another tackle, and Arizona forces the punt. Look at this. And Williams, I mean, he has a lane, so I understand why he's going to take off with it, because I feel like at this point, he doesn't trust his arm at all. He's thrown 10 straight incompletions. 7 or 8 of those could have easily been intercepted had Arizona's defenders been able to just catch the football. 4th and 1, you know, there's still 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. And yeah, Joseph Zima on for the 6th time today. This San Antonio offense is just stuck in a rut. He'll boot it away. Rashad Ross to receive. Can he get a terrible blocking? Teron Smith gets right in there. Ross taking down the 26. So Arizona now, can they find a way to get their offense going and put some more points on the board and try to start pulling away? I mean, Wolford's having himself a great day. 12 of 17, 208 yards and touchdown. By far one of his most efficient days. You know, if you look at the game in week 3, it was 15 of 29, 167 yards and 2 interceptions. Last week, 19 of 27, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions, though. So, you look at the stats that he's put up today, by far his best day of the year. 1st and down for the 26. We'll see if he can keep it up. Off-play action, Wolford to throw. With time, going deep down the sidelines. Man, wide open, it's knocked away! Gerald Christian was open, and the ball just popped out, and I gotta say, I almost feel like that was a fumble. It looked like he had plenty of time to hang on to that one, but you know, that's a tough break for Wolford. That's a perfect throw to a wide open receiver, and somehow San Antonio was able to knock that one away. 2nd and 10. Back to throw again is Wolford. Going deep down the field. He's got a man wide open, and he missed him. Richard Mullaney was open, and he would have gone to the end zone, I think. And that's 2 misses in a row. Big plays for Arizona. And they're set up at 3rd and 10. And, you know, this is what we've seen earlier in the season where Arizona just unable to capitalize on big plays, and they end up losing the game. Thankfully for them, they're playing against San Antonio, but still, the Commanders can come back at any moment. 3rd and 10. Wolford with time. Gotta let it go. Rips it down the field. Man wide open again, and this time it's Christian, and he hangs on to the 44. Big completion. What a throw and what a catch. And it was an easy catch, but still. Gerald Christian, he has been dominating the San Antonio defense today. 1st and 10 coming up from the 44 of San Antonio. And there have been some big passing plays from Arizona today. Something that they have not done much throughout this season. Connor Hamlet goes in motion. Most likely going to be a run here to Presley. And it is actually Tim Cook. He gets tripped up and only picks up maybe 2 or 3 on the play. And it's tough that he got tripped up because he had some room to run. And I think he would have had a nice gain of about 7 or 8 had he not tripped over his own man. 2nd and 7 now from the 41. So Arizona, they got a big play, but they're not in field goal range yet. They got to just find a way to get in field goal range, stay in field goal range, and score some points. On the ground, and Presley ripped down the offensive line. Terrible. Presley loses 3 yards, and now it's going to be another 3rd and 10. And San Antonio's defense is doing everything that they can right now. I know that they've given up some big plays, but you got to realize that when your offense can literally not even get a first down, really, there is just hardly, not only is there no motivation, but it's just like, you just get so worn down on defense. Huge 3rd and 10 right now. Can San Antonio's defense get another stop? Wolford back to throw. With time, deep down the field, and it's complete! Richard Mullaney down to the 10. Wolford with 272 yards on the day. That's a 34-yard reception. And this passing attack of Arizona has absolutely ripped through San Antonio today. Mullaney having a breakout day. He's just wide open on that deep post. And I think if Gerald Christian was able to get a little block there, I think he would have taken it to the house. 1st and goal now from the 10 as Arizona is in business. From the 10. Gonna call Martino in motion. Off play action. Gonna pass it out. It's dropped. There's a flag. Huh. It's an ineligible receiver downfield. It's an unusual penalty to see in this league. That's going to push Arizona back to the 15. And, you know, this is something that Arizona's been doing. Shooting themselves in the foot. Once they get in a scoring position, you know, you're still easily in field goal range. But you just want to score a touchdown here. Just start putting the game away. I mean, San Antonio is not going to score 2 touchdowns. I'm saying it right now. They're not. If Arizona can get in the end zone again, even if they don't get the 2-point conversion, make it a 15-0 game, and you've pretty much locked up a W. First and goal from the 15 now. Wolford will throw. He's got time. He's got to get rid of it. Just checked it down. It's caught by Christian underneath, and that's a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal now from the 11. And now let's see what the Commanders can come up with here defensively. Can they get another stop? And at least 12-0 still gives your offense an opportunity to make some sort of comeback happen. You look at the Commanders' offense. I mean, they've just been so bad. You know, 21 points in Week 1, but most of that came in garbage time at the end. 22 points in Week 2, which is their best game of the season. Week 3, again, a lot of those points against San Diego, 23 of them came in garbage time. Last week, only 6. Back to throw is Wolford. Towards the end zone, wide open is Freddie Martino again. His 2nd touchdown of the day, and Arizona gets in the end zone once again. Martino is just so wide open. Unaccounted for. Zach Sanchez, the closest Commander in sight, but man, I mean, that's just about as easy as it gets. You know, you can't blame the Commanders' defense too much, but man, Arizona is having a field day here at home. Commanders are just straight up helpless right now. And let's see if Arizona can get this 2-point conversion and make it a 3-score game. 17-0 would be a lot better for them in this scenario right now. 2-point try. High snap. They give it to Presley. He's not going to get there. San Antonio holds up, and Arizona's 0 for 2 on the day with 2-point conversions. But another phenomenal drive from the Hotshots there. John Wolford with the 2nd touchdown of the game. He's now got 7 on the season. Excuse me. Presley unable to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, though. And now let's see what Marquise Williams can come up with. But you gotta think, I mean, Commanders, if they don't find a way to come back and win this game, I know it's only the halfway point of the season, but if you've got 4-1 Salt Lake, 4-1 San Diego, and 3-2 Arizona, how are you coming back from that? How can you expect to beat Salt Lake, well, you're not playing San Diego again, but beat Salt Lake and Arizona and the other good teams when you're 0 points here coming into the 4th quarter against Arizona, who is one of the weaker teams in the league? Ayers takes a knee, so San Antonio sets up shop at the 25. But Arizona really starting to look like one of the stronger teams in this league. And after, you know, a bad 1-2 start with their win coming against the Express, who just got their first win of the season this week, Arizona really turned it around and now definitely look like playoff material if they can find a way to somehow get past either Salt Lake or San Diego. It's going to be a really tough road. And honestly, if Arizona was in the East Division, I think they would have a cakewalk to the playoffs. They're better than Birmingham. I'd say they're better than Orlando at this point. We'll see. The Orlando and Arizona play next week, so that should be a good one. We'll see. 1st and 10 now from the 25. Back to throw is Williams. Goes across the middle. Finally, completion. Goes for 21 yards up to 46. Excuse me. That's DeMarcus Ayers. So after all that, he is now 1 for 10 on the day with 21 yards. Wow. So it took nearly 3 full quarters, but Marquise Williams has finally completed a pass. And now let's see, can San Antonio put something together here on offense? Time running down here in the 3rd quarter. Under 10 seconds to go, but they should be able to get this play off. Back to throw is Williams. Plenty of time, and now he's going to be ripped down to the ground. Will Sutton in there for the sack, and that'll take us to the 4th quarter. And that just kind of shows the way this game has been going. Williams finally made a nice play, and Arizona's defense was like, hey, we got to follow it up and remind Marquise Williams that he sucks. Yeah, had a couple open receivers there. Just not able to get rid of the football. The offensive line doesn't hold up. And that's that. He goes down. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter. It is a 15-0 lead for the Arizona Hotshots here at home. A huge week 5 as both of these teams were looking to gain some sort of momentum. Arizona's doing a good job of getting it, and you know they're carrying the momentum of last week has certainly carried over into this week. You know, they got a big win against Atlanta. I really think that win gave them confidence because everyone, all the analysts, you know, it seemed like Atlanta was a clear favorite to win that game, but they dominated Atlanta at home, and now they're dominating San Antonio here, and it just goes to show that this team is resilient and built to last if they can keep playing like this. 2nd and 17 now. Williams to throw. He'll take off and immediately taken down to 42. Scooby Wright with another tackle to bring up 3rd and 14 from the 42. And again, this game has just been disastrous for San Antonio across the board. 3rd and 14, again in a pickle on offense. Williams to throw. Going deep towards the sidelines, and it is hauled in. What a catch. Evan Rodriguez hauls it in at the 39, and San Antonio was able to convert. Williams just kind of flung that up there. A 50-50 ball in the direction, and look at this. Kieran Williams just not able to turn around in time, and Rodriguez is just able to go up and get this football. Not a bad throw from Williams, but how about Rodriguez making the adjustment, coming down with the completion for a Commanders first down, and maybe here in the fourth quarter, they can finally score some points. 1st and 10 from the 39. Williams to throw again. And now he's just going to take off with it again, and he's got room to run. And once again, tackled by Scooby Wright. Down to the 31 in San Antonio with the best drive of this game so far. You score a touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. This game is far from over. That's why Arizona really needed that 2-point conversion, which they weren't able to get. And now the Commanders' offense finally coming alive a bit. Let's see what they can do. Back to throw is Williams. Quick pass, and it's complete. DeMarcus Ayers to 26. And Williams has now completed his last 3 passes after not being able to complete his first 9 attempts. 3 for 12. He's completing 25%, so it's not a great stat, but it's better than 0%. 1st and 10 from the 26. San Antonio making a march happen. They have not scored a touchdown yet on offense with Marquise Williams as quarterback. Can they change that on this drive? It's a quick pass, complete to Greg Ward. Gain of about 2. You know, time is becoming a factor here, so they need to just try to get in the end zone quick. But yeah, I mean, last week they scored 6 points. Those are from 2 field goals. Last touchdown came in week 3 against San Diego. They have not scored a touchdown with Marquise Williams. 2nd and 8 from the 24. Williams to throw. Blitz from Arizona. Quick pass, and it's hauled in. Nice grab on the exterior by Kenneth Farrell. That pass was high and to the outside, but Farrell hauls it in, and it's another first down for the Commanders. Finally putting it together. They're inside the 15 as we're under 6.5 minutes left in this game. Still plenty of time, but time is definitely a factor if they are unable to score quick. 1st and 10. Back to throw again is Williams. He's going to take off with it. And now slides down at the 11. Interesting decision to slide. He didn't really have to. He could have gained a lot more yardage. 2nd and 7 now from the 11. Let's see what the Hotshots can do defensively. I mean, they've shut down San Antonio completely. But on this drive, San Antonio has had some really nice completions. 2nd and 7 from the 11. High snap. They go on the ground. It's Farrow. Trying to find a lane. Gets inside the 10. Taken down to 9. 3rd and 5. Huge 3rd down coming up for San Antonio. I mean, they need a touchdown here. They cannot afford... They need a touchdown on the 2. They can't afford anything else to happen. They obviously can't settle for a field goal. We're under 5 minutes. This has been a long drive. 3rd and 5 from the 9. Back to throw is Williams. Going towards the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown to Marcus Ayers! And Marquise Williams has thrown his first touchdown of the season. And it came at a pretty decent time. I mean, granted, they needed to score earlier than this, but hey, they finally got it done. Ayers comes across wide open. Must have been a miscommunication there defensively by Arizona. Heck of a play, and Arizona gives up a touchdown. Now, the 2-point try. Because if they don't get this, they're still down by 2 scores. This is massive. What is the play call going to be from Riley? They will pass. Williams, end zone. It's caught! Greg Ward again! And it's 15-8. Wow. So just like that, with 4:42 to play, it's anyone's game. What a catch. And Marquise Williams now, here in this 4th quarter, has thrown a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. In this game, again, it is far from over here in Arizona. And Rick Neuheisel has got to find a way to get this offense back on a good path. Wacky. Big drive from San Antonio. About time. Hadn't scored a touchdown for like 8 quarters. Justin Stockton takes a knee in the end zone. Arizona sets up shop at the 25. And here is where the Hotshots need to be smart with the football and just continue to play good football. I mean, look at those stats from Wolford. By far his best day of the year. He hasn't turned the ball over once. Now that I said that, I'm sure he will right now. But that's the one thing that he can't do. He's got to just be safe, be smart with the football. Arizona's been cooking up the San Antonio defense, and it shouldn't be that hard for them to just cruise down the field and at least kick a field goal and, just kind of put this game away. See what the play call is here on 1st down from Neuheisel. 4:42 to play. There's a lot of time left on this clock. On the ground is Presley with a big hole. Jarrell Presley up to the 33. Brings up 2nd and 2. Now it's going to come down to San Antonio's defense and whether or not they can make a stop happen. Would be crazy, though, if the Commanders were able to come back and win this game because they were dominated today. They were dominated in Week 2 against Orlando. They found a way to win that one, so it's not impossible. See what happens. Off-play action. Wolford will throw. Quick pass, and it's knocked away. Dangerous. Austin Larkin knocks it away from Mulaney. It's a huge 3rd and 2. This is massive. And you go back to all those dropped interceptions from Arizona, you think how many more points that they could have had they made a few of those interceptions. Huge 3rd and 2. The game could ride on this. Off-play action. Wolford will pass. Deep down the field. There's a man wide open. It's Rashad Ross to the 46. And Wolford with his first 300-yard day of the season. Certainly the MVP of this game, as long as he doesn't throw a pick 6 or something. Rashad Ross having himself a nice day. Almost 60 yards. Look at this. I mean, he's just about as wide open as you can get, and I think San Antonio was expecting a run there, and Rashad Ross is just able to get wide open. Big completion, and now well under 4 minutes on the clock, and Arizona can really start trying to just milk this thing and run it out. See what Neuheisel decides to call here. I know they've passed it before when they should be running it, so we'll see. They will pass it. Wolford back to throw. All day. He's just got to get rid of it. He's going to try to take off with it. He runs into a defender, and he's going to be taken down for a loss of 6. And hey, that's something that we saw him do a couple weeks ago against Salt Lake, where he held on to the football when he shouldn't have and then was taken down. It's a rare mistake. Well, not a rare mistake. For this game, a rare mistake from Wolford. Just kind of runs right into where Joey Embu can just make a nice tackle. So this game, again, it's not over. That completion from Ross got them closer, but it's not over. 3 timeouts for Commanders and the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 16 from the 48. See what the play call is from Neuheisel. They will pass with Wolford. Once again, backing up, and it's the same exact thing. And that's just a terrible decision by Wolford because it's the second time he just ran right into the defender. Second sack in a row for the Commanders, and Arizona backed up at their own 41. And 3rd and 22, I mean, this is highly unlikely to get, and Arizona most likely will have to punt, which will give San Antonio some time. Off-play action, San Antonio brings a blitz. Wolford is going to air it out deep down the field. He's got a man, and it is caught by Mulaney inside the 5 of the 3. You've got to be kidding me. Wow. On 3rd and 22, Wolford drops a dime to Mulaney, and that sets him up inside the 5 of the 3. I wish we would have gotten a replay of that. San Antonio used a timeout. What a pass. And what a catch. Unbelievable. Arizona, that might have just won them the game. On play action, Wolford spins away, but then gets dropped. Try play action, and that didn't work too well. Man, there have been a few beauties from Wolford today, and this is something that, you know, we knew he could make plays like that coming into the season, and that's why it was frustrating to watch him in those first couple of weeks. You know, he's just making bad throws, inaccurate, throwing interceptions, pick sixes, and all that. But today, it's been a brand new John Wolford, way better than last week, despite an impressive performance then, too. 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground with Presley. Smart, you know, just run more clock down. They'll run it down with a 2-minute warning. It brings up 3rd and goal from the 13. The only thing that they can't do is turn over the ball because we've got an easy field goal right now, which should just solidify this win. I can't believe that Neuheisel was okay with. I mean, maybe that was Wolford just deciding to go deep, but on 3rd and 22, you'd expect them to just play it safe there. Just be like, we'll punt the football and hope our defense can get another stop. But they went for it all, and they got it all. Huge 3rd and goal now. Well, not really huge 3rd and goal. As long as Arizona doesn't turn over the football here, they're in fine shape. Martino in motion. Back, Wolford will pass it, and there is a flag, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be that receiver downfield again. See, why would Madden create a play like that if it's just going to be an eligible receiver downfield every time? And Arizona will decline it, as they should. So now Nick Folk, who is 1 for 2 on the day, missed from 50, hit from 34. All he needs to do is knock through a 30-yard field goal, and Arizona pretty much has this game in the bag. So we'll see if he can knock this one through and get the job done for the Hotshots to improve to 3-2. I mean, granted, you can never say never, but with no timeouts left and with 2 scores in under 2 minutes, I don't think that's happening from San Antonio. 30-yard field goal attempt. The kick is on its way, and it is right through, and Arizona has got an 18-8 lead here over San Antonio with 1:51 to play. Huge kick from Folk. And again, with John Wolford, he's thrown for a couple touchdowns, well over 300 yards on the day, and certainly deserving of MVP in this one. He has single-handedly won this game for Arizona. And the funny thing is how, you know, the last few weeks he's been carried by other players, but today he has been the one making the big plays, and that's what you want to see. That is a playoff caliber quarterback that is certainly going to give you an opportunity to win some big-time, prime-time games. So Nick Folk, after the field goal, he'll send it away. What can San Antonio make happen here? Down by 10 with only 1:50 to go. DeMarcus Ayers on the return. Takes it up to 28, and that's where San Antonio will set up shop. So, after the 0-for-9 start from Marquise Williams, he did have a pretty nice drive there. Completed several passes, threw his first touchdown pass of the season. We'll see what he can do right now. Down by 10. A little over 1.5 minutes to play. You know, Arizona, you know, they come away with this win here. Then they're at Orlando and then hosting San Diego. So those are going to be 2 really tough games in a row. But a win here, you know, really just propels them, at least gives them momentum, and gets them over that 500 mark. So they can afford, I mean, they could afford to lose to Orlando as long as they could beat San Diego the week after that. First and 10 from the 28. Back to throw is Marquise Williams. Quick pass, and it's knocked away. And again, that is like the 9th or 10th dropped interception by Arizona. It's unbelievable that Marquise Williams has not had an interception recorded this game, because there has been many, many passes right through the hands of hotshot defenders. Second and 10 coming up from their own 28. See what the play call is from Mike Riley. Back to throw is Williams. Quick pass across the middle. It's complete. And a flag. Looks like it's going to be a face mask. And that's unnecessary. Easily had him tackled before the line of scrimmage. And Raheem Moore going to get called for a face mask. And that sets up San Antonio at the 47. And also stops the clock. So, Hotshots shooting themselves in the foot right there on defense. Should have had an interception and now a face mask. And just like that, San Antonio is midfield. In fact, they might be past midfield, I think. Yeah, they're in Arizona territory at the 47. First and 10 coming up. Back to throw is Williams. All day to throw the football. Just has to check it down, and it's somehow complete, and Farrow sheds a tackler. Kenneth Farrow inside the 30. Wow. I don't know how he got that pass in there. It looked like it was going to be picked off. Farrow makes the catch, and then breaks a couple tacklers, and that's why Farrow is just, utilized so much. Yeah, Dexter McDougal had a chance at it, and missed it again. I can't tell you how many missed picks there have been from Arizona today. Only a 3-man rush for Arizona. Marquise down the field and is complete. All the way to the 8. That's Evan Rodriguez with another big completion as we're under a minute left in this game. But Marquise Williams has definitely looked a lot better here in this fourth quarter. Regardless of the final outcome, he's shown enough that maybe he should get the start next week, despite a really bad performance today overall. First and goal from the 8. Back to throw is Williams. Quick pass, it's caught. Farrow taken down at the 3. Just like that, Williams is 10 for 20 with 119 yards and a touchdown. So since he was 0 for 9, he's been 10 for 11 with 119 yards and a touchdown. You just wonder, where was that to start the game? Why did it take him so long to actually do that? Second and goal from the 3. Can they get the score before this game is over? And it is knocked away in the end zone. So bring up third and goal. Big play coming up, third and goal for the Commanders. Can they find a way to get in the end zone here? I mean, there's only 14 seconds left, so they need an onside and then a Hail Mary. Can Marquise Williams throw a second touchdown, though, here in these final seconds? Back to throw. With time, end zone shot is knocked away. Steven Johnson breaks it up, and it brings up fourth and goal. So 10 seconds, fourth and goal. You're probably just going to go for it here and see what happens. Johnson gets a hand on it, and again, that's another pass thing. I think every single incomplete pass thrown by Marquise Williams has had a chance at being intercepted. That means that Arizona's had a good 11 to 12 passes that they could have intercepted. Fourth and goal from the 3. Can San Antonio punch it in for the second time this quarter? Williams to throw. Gotta let it go. He will, and it is caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Evan Rodriguez, the tight end. And San Antonio is able to score here with 6 seconds left in the game. And Steven Johnson, I don't know what he's doing there. He should just kind of try to bat that ball away. Kind of dives backwards and lets Rodriguez make an easy catch. So Williams is actually going to have decent stats after today, despite the horrible play overall, which is kind of funny. 2-point try now to make it a 2-point game. They got their first conversion. Can they make it 2 for 2? They try a quick screen, and Mikael McKay is going to come up short. So Arizona will probably go on to win this game 18-14. All they need to do is get through an onside kick. What a game from the Hotshots. And it is crazy, though, this game is going to end 18-14 because San Antonio was dominated. Arizona just completely ripped through them this entire game. It's a good thing that these games are in 5 quarters because, well, Arizona might have ended up blowing this one. But they should be able to hang on here. Let's get to the onside kick now. Come on. Mike Riley does not need to talk to the ref. This game is pretty much over. Let's move. Nick Rose is going to have to try an onside kick. And again, we have never had a successful onside kick attempt in simulated history through the XFL or the AAF. Neither one. Will this be the day that changes? Let's find out. Arizona's winning record comes down to this, and they recover. Big time recovery. That should end this one. Josh Huff picks it up, and now with only 5 seconds, all Arizona needs to do is kneel it out, and that's the game. But yeah, this is such a big win for Arizona because, you know, they play at Orlando, then hosting San Diego, then they play at San Antonio again in Week 8. So, you know, those are all winnable games, and they have a really good chance at being a successful 5-3, maybe even 6-2, coming towards the end of the season. Well, that'll do it for us here in Arizona. What a win for the Hotshots. They advance to 3-2. Meanwhile, San Antonio drops to 1-4. Their season kind of looking like it's over here in Week 5. 18-14, John Wolford, absolutely the player of the game. We'll see if he actually gets it. Heck of a game. Arizona with 2 games in a row that they won. Meanwhile, San Antonio has now dropped 3 straight. They're going to be at Atlanta, then hosting Salt Lake, and then hosting Arizona. 3 tough games in a row coming down the stretch for San Antonio. It's going to be hard for them to turn around this season. Had a nice 4th quarter, but other than that, they were horrible. Thank you for everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button and go follow us on Twitter so you can get all the important updates and all that stuff. Go follow us on Twitter. Make sure to check out the AAF sheets down in the description below if you want to get access to all the important stats, player stats, game stats, individual seasons, player stats, season stats, all that stuff. I repeated myself, I know. And if you want to support us financially, that would be awesome too. If not, just keep supporting us the way you're already doing it. Appreciate it so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week in Week 6 of the AAF Simulated. We're halfway done. Pretty crazy. We'll see you then.